This is the Bar Steward's Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
Hello and a big warm welcome to the Bar Steward's Goodwood preview for Tuesday and Wednesday. This is for Patreon subscribers, free subscribers, of course. Free listeners will get it on Tuesday morning. So joining me on this show to give you plenty of ammo for the first 2 days on Slopsville is Quentin, Franks, Jack and John. Good evening, chaps.
Good evening, Lee.
Yes, we're all in good form. Good form. Good fan. Top of the morning. Yeah. Indian, that. Right, on to the best... I know my impressions are terrible. Right, yeah, on to the best bets round then, because this is what you all listen for, and, well, I hope you do. The one-pointers to start the round. Who's going to go first? Shall I lead the way? I'm not too boring for once. I am a bore, but I'm not as boring this week, which I think is quite good for me. Right, I'm going to kick us off with a 1 point win tomorrow, 5:05 race. The Gary Moore, the Jelly Deal Brigade, trained novice, the filly, with Tom Quealy, the curly jockey in the saddle. This filly has impressed me. I thought she won very well when she won here, and that's good form. That's very good form when she actually won here, on like similar sort of conditions of what we're going to face tomorrow, which will be soft ground. And for me, that will stand her in very good stead. The fact that she's already done it at this course, the mile will suit. I was very impressed with her run behind Classic, where she didn't get the run of the race. In fact, she could be rated the best horse in the race there at Sandown last time. And I think with conditions now in her favour, a tricky draw to overcome, but it might not be tricky because you know what they're like at Goodwood. By the time they swing in, we don't know what racing line they're going to take. So, yes, 1 point win. Nervous for Tom Quealy and the Brighton Mafia to get one on the board early. 8-1 generally available. Jonas Lang.
Right, 1 point. 4:45 Goodwood, not Beverley.
This Wednesday.
Yeah, in these shoes, the kilt. Now, you've got to go to the penultimate run for the significance here. Came from the back on typical July course slot. Johnston quoted after as saying she wants a mile. Needless to say, we're going to look at it. And needless to say, the Defcon then holds her up over an extended 7 at Beverley. And they're wondering why she misfired. Well, I'm not. She might have been Johnstoned. She might run like shit. But at 22-1, it's not costing much to find out.
No, indeed.
And the record at this meeting, with horses going up in trip, is okay for an horrible twat like him. So 1 point win.
Indeed, yeah. In these shoes, John. Yeah, I'll give you 22s. 25s is with Skybet, but we'll give you second best price as we like to be trying to be fair for all owners. 22s for in these shoes for John. Nice start with a big price. Jack Veach.
We're off to the 225 on Wednesday, Lee, the 7 furlong Group 3 for the fillies. A bit of split staking wankering to kick us all off. I know everyone loves that. And both of these actually run in the same colours, so you'll be hat watching here. I'll kick off with the first one, and that's White Moonlight. Now, half the reason I've split staked this is because I fear she might come out if it turns desperate. She's got good to soft form. Dam's got form on soft and heavy, but I don't think she'd want it hopeless. Angle with her was, drawn reasonably well in 7. This isn't a race you want to be stuck out in double figures. Only 3 horses out of the last 10 of renewals of this race have won from and they were all from stall 10. So I think beyond that, you're pretty stuffed. She looked decent this year. I mean, she's a 6-year-old mare, but still seems to have plenty in the tank. Last two starts pretty well with some form that ties in with some of these, including the favourite, actually. And I just thought there's an opportunity she might get a bit of an easy off the front here. If you look at those lowly drawn, particularly Fav fast response, likes to be held up. Breach in 3, the same. So if Oisin can break pretty well, he might just steal one here. But again, a bit of a ground worry on her. And the other was Dream of Love. So Patry and lot might remember me putting her up for the Guineas. And safe to say it's not quite gone to plan with her pitching up here. But I think there's still signs of life. Her 7th in the Sandringham wasn't bad. She met quite a bit of interference in that race and finished off the race pretty nicely. She's got really nice form on a rare bit of soft ground in Meydan earlier on the season, and that's still a standout bit of form, really. I think if they can get a little bit more handy here, and obviously you're always running for luck around this place, I think she's not without a chance. So fairly nice odds of the pair. I think 8s, 9s available. I'd like a half point on each, please.
Of course, half point Dream of Love 8-1 generally available, and half point White Moonlight 9-1. Bet Victor and Coral. Good stuff, Jack. Quentin, finish off the first round for us, please.
I'm going to take a flyer on a newcomer in the 14-something tomorrow. 14-15 tomorrow. You mentioned there's going to be strong headwind tomorrow.
Yes.
I can see the ones with experience trying to use the experience to try and make all, and kind of something coming from rear. The horse in question that I'm going to take a floater on is A La Noche. Richard Allen trains it. And he's got a decent record in the race. He won it in 2:15. He won it in 2018. He comes second with a newcomer in 2:21 and was second last year on a horse having its second start. The other angle into the horse is the ground. The Dam's Throne 3 horses, Sea Theme, that won a novice on soft ground at Donny the other week. Sky Angel, that's the listed winner on soft ground over in France. And Donnybrook, which won its novice on heavy ground. So ground no doubts at all. Sire Lope de Vega, decent figures with its 2-year-old newcomers, 18% strike rate, 1.31 actual over expected. So yeah, I'm quite happy to take a flyer with those that set the standard not overly high. 14-1 looks big in all honesty.
Love it. I love the angles there. Love it. 14-1 generally available for A La Noche with Sean Levy. Like justice for Sean after his terrible treatment from the Jockey Club banning him for drugs when it's probably his brother Declan that's on him, not him. So yeah, A La Noche for Quentin. At 14-1 generally available. Love that first round. 14s from Quentin, 22s from John. Nice prices from Jack, and not too bad from me for once. Right, 2-point round, Jack.
Well, I'll undo all those nice prices, Lee. I'm going a bit boring here. I need some winners on the board.
Yes.
4:35 tomorrow, and little to no surprises. It's the Fav Courage Mon Ami. I could see this price going out a little bit, and it's the more it's going out, the more it's tempting me. I mean, you're looking at sort of 9-4, 5-2. I just don't think this horse has done anything wrong. Really impressive winner of the Gold Cup last time out. He's got the beating in most of these. Put away Coltrane pretty handily. A few of those in behind were down the field in the Gold Cup too. Emily Dickinson, probably the one that would worry me a little bit if it turned up soft and very soft at that, because she'll need it. But I just struggle to see anything getting near this one. He's had 4 races in his life. He's a Gold Cup winner. He's upwardly mobile. Most of these have kind of shown their hand a little bit here. Thought it was pretty interesting that he pulled out Gregory, who looked pretty nailed on to run in this, and only goes with Courage Mon Ami. Obviously a very good record in the race in years gone by with the likes of Strad. And I just thought he was a very solid favourite, in my opinion, tomorrow. For me, it was more 7-4, 15-8. So looking at 9-4, 5-2, I thought that was more than fair, and I'd be quite happy with a 2-point win.
Lovely. 2 points at 5-2 you've got. That's pretty much generally available. A few firms there going the 5-2. Thank you for kicking the round off. Quentin Franks.
I'm going to go head-to-head with John in the 16:45 on Wednesday. Filly's handicap. Also, the question that I like is this Persist. I know it's giving weight for age to the 3-year-olds, but shaped well enough at Newcastle on her comeback. Looked like needing a run, just plugged on steadily late doors. Their undoing's been being slow away from the gates, but the angle in here is just the ground, to be honest. She's yet to go on soft ground at all, which is a surprise. A damn persuasive Group 1 winner she won the QE2 on soft ground. She's thrown Theory of Everything. That won its debut on heavy ground at Donny. It just seems like a mud-loving family, in all honesty, and she's not. The slowest ground she got was good ground at Newmarket in October, and that's not a bad piece of form, in all honesty. You kind of look at that. Al Hussen's come out and won a Group 3, Something Enticing's won a listed race. Bell Street Birdie, I think it won a Grade 3 in Del Mar. Even the Cromwell horse that won I think it was a listed race at Pontefract the other day. So she finished a couple of lengths behind them. She's off a mark of 86, 14-1 I think it is, or 12-1, with ground conditions that I think will suit. Pace on the cards should bring her into it, and yeah, I just think she's been underestimated by the market.
Nice case. 12-1 with Sky and William Hill. 14 you bet 365, but 12's obviously for fairness in racing prices. Like the reason Quentin. So going head to head with John, 2 nice big prices in that fillies race though for our patron listeners. John?
140 Goodwood, Lord Riddyford. Spencer's buggery since the last win here, on a hat-trick in this race. Back down to a winnable mark as per. John Quinn's obviously laid the horse out for this. Just back it, 2 points win.
Love your previews at times. Right, so Lord Riddyford, you have 13-2 generally available for Lord Riddyford for John. Laid out for the race, he says, and he's quite confident. I like when he's confident. Is John for his 2-pointer? Myself, asthmatic horse time. You know, I knew we'd get one. The question is, who is it? 225 Goodwood, Wednesday, Dream of Love. As Jack mentioned, this filly, well, gave about 10 lengths to Morge and nearly beat it in Maidan, probably under the good old carrots. But nevertheless, this filly shaped well in the Montrose last year. For me, I genuinely think she is a soft ground filly, and I've always thought that. And I always, and she had it. And I thought she shaped well at Ascot on ground that wouldn't have been a barrow. And if you'd have said to me, come July, that Dream of Love is not better than this sort of grade, I would have been shocked. I genuinely thought it was Jack's anti-purse guineas bet. And whilst I wasn't as confident for the guineas, I was certainly confident that she would be, I don't know, somewhere in Deauville or St. Cloud or some, winning a Group 2 somewhere. And I'm quite shocked. So I think this is her day. And she showed she weren't dead last time. And I think 8-1 is very generous. And I'm 2 points on the nose for the good old asthmatic horse to finish the round off. Lovely stuff, Jack. Good selection, I think so. John, 3 points, come on.
Emily Dickinson each way in the Goodwood Cup will appreciate the easier ground. Favourite, unproven on potential slop. I cannot see 3 of these beating her. She didn't appreciate the ground in the Gold Cup. Her head came up. She's a bit of a boat, but I think you might need a boat in this. And I think she's very, very solid each way. So each way, the price, please.
What, the 1.5 points each way?
Yeah.
Just a question then, because I was going to ask you. Well, we can come to it later as well. But I mean, what was your thoughts on Courage Mon Ami as Fav? Because Jack's obviously.
I don't think you're supposed to appreciate the slower ground. It's not necessarily my angle, because I just think there's not that much in between them. If Ryan's positive and she gets away from them on ground like this, I think you're going to have every chance.
Yeah.
As I say, I think she's one of them bets where you can sit and relax. I think each way, I think it's all fine and dandy.
The irony of the fact that that Trushan doesn't turn up when it's proper slop.
Too busy schooling over hurdles these days, isn't he?
Yeah. The irony of it, year after year. At least we don't get the old non-runner. At least we don't get the non.
Rain dance bollocks.
We don't get all that, do we? Anyway, so interesting stuff from John going against Jack with Emily Dickinson. Not got my prices in front of me. What prices have we seen each way?
6-4.
The producers saying 6s, John, each way a pleasure.
They won't it?
Yeah, for 1.5 each way for the Dickinson.
Yeah, that's fair.
Quentin.
I'm going head-to-head with you, Lee. 1705 Goodwood. Totally get the case for Novus. I'm quite happy to roll in with Stormy Sea here. For me, it's got the absolutely ideal setup. Peace of mind on the inside is the pace. Espresso's the pace. Yep. And I don't think she handled. I don't think she let herself down on the firm ground the second time. She did it at Haydock the first time. That run alone makes her look well enough handicapped off a 92. She's got size and scope of plenty to keep on progressing. The ground's probably key to her here. She's out of Territoires, half sister to Baybridge. Obviously appreciated ease underfoot. I think she'll thrive in the conditions tomorrow. Very surprised that 9-2's kicking around. Inside draw, paces there. Just track the 2 leaders and let rip down straight.
Yeah, that, obviously Baybridge is half sister there, and I'm not gonna be losing on her for ground reasons also. So you make a good case. I was going to play the race, to be honest. Sort of back nervous, make sure I cover stormy sea. So yeah, I agree. That's the principal threat with an ideal setup, as you have pointed out. Thank you, sir. Okay, Jack, coming to you.
More boring for me, Lee, but that doesn't matter when they're boring if they win. So we're going to a really crap-looking vintage stakes, the 325 tomorrow. And I'm very sweet on the chances of the Richard Hannon favourite Hartem. I just think this is a really, really average vintage, if I'm being honest. I mean, you look down.
Just sounds funny, that, doesn't it? An average vintage.
An average vintage, yeah. Change it to the mediocre stakes, because that's what this one is.
Blue none.
Yeah, I mean, you look down. I mean, the scaffolder horse has come for loads of money today. That ran third in the Chesham, but I think personally that was a pretty average Chesham. You know, the second's already come out and ran with credit but been beaten. You've got Odyssey there, which you can use as a form line into Hartem, who's ran creditably in both of those races, this and the July Stakes. But Hartem's put that away soundly, and Golden Mine has beaten it at half a length or so. Then you've got Iberian, the Hills train. I mean, how many Hills winners on debut go backwards? Quite a few, I'd imagine. So, and I look back into this race, and it does tend to suit one who's already, I think every of the last 10 have had at least 3 runs behind them. So that's got to come forward loads on debut. Mountain Bear, well beaten by Hartem already. Then you're delving down into Clover Horse, Witness Stand, won a modest novice at Chester. There's just not a lot in here, and Hartem, if City of Troy is the freak that we all hope and think he is, this is the only one that's got same stratosphere to it in the July Stakes, and has ran a really solid race. Got some good form behind that in the Royal Ascot and in the Woodcut too. He was a bit tardy from the gates early on, but he seems to have sorted that out in his last couple of starts. I just think this one needs to run to his mark, and he should win this fairly comfortably. And, I could see 3-1 looking a bit silly tomorrow.
Lovely
so, 3-point win.
And 3-1 you can have, sir. Available with three firms. So that's okay by me. 3-1 for Jack with his nap. And to finish the max bet round off, split stakes for me in the 150 on Wednesday. Amletter, Jack, follower Jack, isn't it?
That's the one, yep.
Yeah, 4-1. I think it's fair. I'm okay with that. I'm not. I think the ground's fine. I think everything's fine for this horse. I think he's a lot better than the mark. So 2 points win on that for me. We aren't going too berserk. And the other one is 1 point win Clan Chieftain at 20-1 with Bet365, Paddy's and Betfair. Clan Chieftain impressed me greatly at Chepstow. Has had the old wind tinkered with. That might put some people off, obviously, because it's going to be slop. But I don't think slop's going to be a problem for this horse. And secondly, Rafe Ralph doesn't often tinker with the wind. He's only done it 7 times, well, to our knowledge, and he's won with 2 of them. And I really like Clan Chieftain. I think he's going to be better than his mark, and I can't see how he's 20s in this. I just cannot, because he's definitely better than what he's been allotted. So why he's been written off so much, I don't know, because at Chepstow he's very impressive. He wasn't entitled to win that, but he showed enough foot to get up late, and I think he improves for this trip. So that's my 2-pronged attack. 1 point Clan Chieftain at 20s and 2 Amletter at 4s. Let's hope we've given him some ammo there. We've had a klaxon at least. We love a klaxon on this show. Right, it's time for TV race time before we go on to any other business. So tomorrow's television races, thankfully, is only 4. Goodwood could be running 3 days, John, and Doncaster 2, couldn't it?
It might be enough.
Give York an extra day. No one would mind that.
No, exactly. Yeah, if we talk about a Fez, the Cheltenham Fez. The only Fez that should get 5 days doesn't have it is York. Simple as. Absolutely well said, Jack. Right.
Imagine the fizz, Bill.
Oh, well, that's it. I mean, look, I get knackered now. I can't do every day, so I have a day off. So like York Ebo meeting will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday day off, Saturday go again. I can't do it. I just can't. And you'll say, well, how do you say that? Because I drink plenty, but that's the thing. I drink plenty, exactly that. Yeah,
you got to take Friday. You get pumped up at Melrose on Saturday, haven't you?
Well, that's it. The Saturday's brilliant with the Melrose and the Ebo, so. And Friday I can sacrifice because it's all Phillies and Rammel, isn't it, John?
Horrible day.
What about the racing?
Oh yeah, that. Well, yeah. Hey, I tell you what, right? I mean, the story. Me and John were there a couple of years ago, and the Phillies are quite naughty at York because we were sat with champagne and.
Oh, that little bitch, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, unbelievable. So we sat there with champagne, and these like Phillies stood round our table. Obviously younger and fitter than what we were. She slyly, so like the guest that we'd got who'd gone down to Parade Ring to go and talk to someone, his champagne was there. She picked his champagne glass up and started drinking it.
It was Andy Richmond's on it.
Yeah, Andy's. Yeah, really Andy's though. That's that's the thing. It's like. You have to watch that. They're very crafty at that. Seriously, honestly, I saw it happen more than I think 2 or 3 occasions. I've seen that happen at York, where like you'll see like a lass and because think about how much is a glass of champagne or how much is a bottle of champagne to buy. It's very it's like when everyone's pissed towards end of the day, no one's noticing. They're going round supping champagne.
This is what happens when you go north of Watford, isn't it?
That's the only downside with York, I think. I ain't seen it anywhere else, unless listeners getting in touch. Have you seen it anywhere else? Maybe Galway. I bet you lot do it in Galway, don't you? Right, onto the TV stuff. 250 Goodwood. Millie Bosk, the old Thumb, has put this out, and Thumb's knocked it into 5s. Best price at the moment. He makes you ill, doesn't he?
I don't like my ill. I got 7s.
You've outdone him, John. But the thing is, this is the annoying thing with Calvin, again, a complaint, because he offers nothing actually to the racing fraternity. Because what all he's doing is he writes his column or whatever on Betfair literally straight away after the declarations come out. First pick at prices. He's no better than the overnight rats on a normal day. Like smashing things in like we do. And and that's it. That's all he does. He offers nothing. And like Quentin said before, so like he'll put Millie Bosk out, and then the Betfair bots come in, or some bots come in, and they're asking for like a point under market price, and then he just causes a collapse with no bets matched. He offers nothing. I can't have him. Yeah.
Some fuckers making him put his bets out at that time. It's Betfair, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it suits them. He suits the entire bookmaking operation. There's a reason Hughes Taylor goes out at 9.15. I mean, like that fucks up many people's bets. If Hughes tip in 3 or 4 on a day, fucking hell. Like you by 9.25, you're completely gassed. And that's by design. These free tipsters are by design, because what that creates is a mass market move where, on let's be fair, Hughes is a good judge. I think Calvin's an half decent judge, but that's the point. That's what they do. That's what they do it for. And it's just shafting the punter over and over again. Anyway, back to where we are. Millie Bosk. So any views on this? Eagles way I like as a horse. They've got it in the E-board. They'll be keen to win with this job.
They probably will. It wouldn't be for me at the price. I think Millie Bosk's still a bit of value, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you like it, don't you?
I do.
You like seeing John Smith.
I thought it ran a smashing race.
From a shithouse draw. I was surprised how much you liked it, given it.
Shithouse draw, shithouse position turning in. Big players in the Magnet Cup were front rank most of the way. This thing's come from last. Could come on for that. Chances are he had it more or less blob on because there was confidence in it, wasn't there? I don't think it wants any further than this. I think this is the horse's trip. I think one was just on the point of flattening out, but Yeah, I think it's a very workable mark, this 97. I think it's probably about 105 or really.
No, good. So, I like an opinion and a strong one at that. Quentin, Jack, anything to add?
One of my 5 to follow from last year, Para Diaz. I still think there's scope in his mark of 95. Won well in a good time at Sandown. It kind of all went wrong last time out. Pulled Holly's arms out. She ended up circumnavigating the field. Yeah, exactly. Under the circumstances, he kind of did well to be beaten 5 wickets. Kingscote on. Ground's the concern, but at 16s, I'm kind of happy to factor that into the price. I still think there's scope from a handicapping point of view, so that's where I'd be leaning towards at this stage.
Like it. I like the angles, Quentin. Jack?
Yeah, those were the two for me, really, Lee. I like the case on Miller Bosk. Obviously, the price not so much. I'd like to see that drift a little bit tomorrow, but you never know. Could just be put up again tonight and end up going off 11-4 or something. But I can certainly see the case. Paradies I thought interesting too. If you look at Lord Protector, who's half his price, meets him today on £3 better terms than when they ran off levels, and Paradies beat him a neck. So, if you look at that form line, that looks pretty well handicapped, as Quentin said, at 95.
Good stuff. Okay, we move on to the 325 race, which is obviously Jack has tipped up Hartum quite confidently in the vintage. I'm of the same opinion that I that's the one I back at the prices currently. Like you said, this is a Blue Nun vintage. I can't remember seeing a worse one than this, to be honest. If someone can like maybe correct me on that, but it's bad. Real bad. John, can you sort of put me right on this?
Well, I can tell you the worst one was the one that Dr. Davies won it because I did the absolute bollocks on one of Guy out. His name escapes me, but Athos Christodoulou won it.
Nick Davis will be on to remind you.
Yeah, I remember now. It was called Thurios.
That's it. Yeah, Thurios. Yeah, I remember that.
To be honest with you, I think I'd be with Jack. I don't think Golden Mind's forced to act on the prevailing ground. Iberian, I wasn't all that taken with on debut. Chaparral Mare as well. Doesn't always indicate soft ground as a preference. Hat probably just the percentage call, really, in the conditions. Plus, I mean, it's got form with the Hulk, hasn't it? So we'd like to see Dot up. Yeah,
actually, Magnier will be dropping his draws in that race. If that bounds clear, Magnier's draws are on ankles. Yeah.
Sandpaper out. Make it interesting.
Do you reckon he's still standing up, Magnier, these days, John?
Oh, dear.
Right, 4 o'clock, Kinross. I sort of saw this coming. 7-4, it was putting out. It was never going to be 7-4, was it? This Kinross would be unbeaten under these conditions if it wasn't for a luckless run in the pre-La Forêt over 7 furlongs on ground softer than good. So this isn't a pre-La Forêt. I mean, it's all right. Yeah, I accept relatively decent opposition. Isaac Shelby's interested on the distance drop, but Kinross I thought would take the world of beating. But yeah, I'd need 7-4 to play. 11-8 now. It's going to probably start 11-10. Quentin Franks, your views?
Pretty much that, to be honest, Lee. You know he goes in the ground. There's not much not to like. I can see him probably going off shorter than 11-10 in all honesty. Just going back to the previous race, only thing that put me off Hartum was Hannon coming out and saying I wouldn't be afraid to make the run if we have to.
Oh, no. Field goal, no good. That could happen. They're that daft. I mean, this is thing. Yeah,
idiot. Idiot.
John and Jack, your views on the Lennox?
Yeah, well, not much to add. I mean, Kinross is your most likely winner, but that's very much factored into the price. I think I'd probably play 6-4 plus myself, but you'd be lucky to get that tomorrow, I'd say. He's just not got a beat very much here. Isaac Shelby's ran, pretty well, but hasn't quite, I don't think, got the class to beat something like that. He's probably drawn pretty well. He'll get the rail. He'll like the conditions. Not much to dislike, really.
Do you think Frankie Factor will force it even shorter, John?
I think he's probably just about at the price he's going to be, because I think some people will be playing Isaac Shelby as well. I think that'll get a good word on the telly. In the conditions. Best bit of advice I could offer really would be get one of them cheap payday loans out, just put it on Kinross. if he gets right, just fuck him off, don't pay him.
Yeah, I mean, Jack's just in the process of buying a house at the moment. Yeah, my financial advice to Jack was that the money he's got put aside for the house, stick it on the first air today that me and Quentin, Quentin really flagged it up in the bulletin. The lot should have been on that, Jack. Disappointing from you.
I get 2 houses now, can't I?
Exactly. Imagine the adrenaline. It'd be like Buzz Aldrin stepping onto the moon for the first time. Like inject it with the poison.
Out tomorrow, Jack, and right, just fuck them off. Give
Jack,
him a month or something like that. Say, well, not working. Help.
Yeah. Jack, after your fantastic Molecomb anti-post, the adrenaline was going there at Ascot. You were bouncing around. Imagine the house deposit going on that today. Imagine the feeling as it's drawing clear. What would you be doing? It's like a kilo of heroin.
You're not wrongly. I mean, I celebrated that Molecomb win a little bit too much and actually pulled a muscle just left of my rib cage in the King Edward up at Ascot on Saturday. But it was well worth it.
I have to hit a 3-wood to know that.
Yeah, John pulled a liver on Saturday. Same thing. Just hitting a 3-wood, 220 yards to 6 feet. And John says, he were laid up next day, couldn't move. So yeah, there we go. Different ways to celebrate. There we go. Right, the Goodwood Cup then to finish the day one. This is an interesting race because obviously Coltrane and Courage Mon Ami rematch, and Emily Dickinson is tipped by John. He loves the slop form for this and an each way bet, and clashes with Jack with Courage Mon Ami. So Quentin, what are we saying to Gold Cup here? Why is Coltrane neglected at the moment?
No one seems to be talking about it. Like everyone was prior to Gold Cup was, he's the next up and coming thing. He'll remain, just keep rolling, and he's got beaten, and now no one really wants to talk about him. He's the solid one, isn't he?
I think so.
Rock solid. Like you've not got the ground outs that Jolly's got. It's got more pace than Emily Dickinson. I think that's the way I'm kind of leaning in the race, if I'm honest. Been there, done it. And the other one would be the body thing. Giavolotto goes on the ground. Felt he did well to win at York last time out. It seems to be improving all the time as well. That would be the way I kind of fall on the race. I think Emily Dickinson possibly is too slow round here. She's a bit of a boat, isn't she? Yeah, ground doubts in the back of my head about the favourite.
Yeah, like Coltrane for me, I just don't understand why it's sort of rejected. Yes, obviously Courage Mon Ami went sluicing past it, but we have to play for price here. There was nothing wrong with Coltrane's effort, just beaten by a better horse on the day, but ran perfectly well and probably, as Oisin Murphy's pointed out, gave a target to Frankie for too long. Led 2 furlongs out, and that's had the target to run out and mowed it down. So I don't know. It's interesting, but I will back Coltrane. But going forwards, right, we'll go to Wednesday. The 150 is the 1.5-mile Coral Handicap, where I've tipped. So I hope you guys like my selections in this, because you've all swerved it, you bastards. John?
150 Wednesday. I'm Leto, man, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's good. We like that. As long as you, I like it when you're with me, not against me. Quentin?
Yeah, the truth told, the 2 you've put up are the 2 I like. I think Clan Chieftain, I think there's going to be better to come on easier ground as well. Glen Eagles, that family as well. They've got some decent form on easy ground.
As well.
Yeah, the Montjeu.
Just Amulet, it goes on the ground. There's not really much like 89 looks fine. That form was Frank Durley, wasn't it? Paddy the Squire 1 handicap at Air. Like it's middling form down the field, but he's got more to come. Looks like he's got more to come. He's got a page to fall back on. So, yeah, I like the 2 you've put up, to be honest.
Good stuff. Jack?
Yeah, I'm an Amleto man, Leah. It nearly made my 3. I just thought the 4s was backable, but it's on the way in 7-2 now. General it's probably just about right. But equally, look, I really like the horse, and hopefully we're still all systems go for the Melrose. That was the long-term thoughts with this one. So it'd be good to see him go in on Wednesday.
Yeah, and I hope it does for you as well, because you were the one to
Was this the Melrose trial for Molecomb last year then?
It was.
Yes. Don't remind me, John.
This was the day. right. Quentin was due to come over. He had passport problems, and we were sat there at the Goodwood course hospitality, and I'd had my absolute bollocks on Molecomb. It's horrible day. And then it made amends at York. I mean, like I said, the York day was so special because it's like when you tracker horses all seem to run, and then they all win. It happened that day. It happened at York, didn't it, John? You know, Phantom Flight, James Orton, Molecomb, all that lovely. But that was a dark day at Goodwood. Ooh, a dark day. You know, like Ollie Doyle. You know, like
long way from home as well when that happens.
Yeah, it is. So
all you want to do is get back and steep your feet.
Yes, indeed. 225 then, the Oak Tree. 11-2 fast response. Jumbly. Obviously, me and Jack are very keen on Dream of Love, and Jack also makes a point for White Moonlight, but he's worried about the ground for that if it does get very boggy. So, Quentin and John, your thoughts on the Oak Tree?
I'm still reeling over how we managed to get this Dream of Love beat at Maidan that time.
Oh, do you remember that?
Sure. Yeah,
we were online. Right, you know, we managed to get some good odds, haven't we? And I think me and you, Quentin, we got 3-1, and it actually
3-1,
went
11-4. It went off odds on.
Yeah, it went off odds on Betfair. Like, and Morge beat it a short nut, and me and Quentin was like, you know, rocking forwards, like, you know, it missed the kick about 6, and how it got beat, I don't know. But I think the ground's the key. This could run massive. I hope they've got it back because she'll piss on these if she's right. I think that's my view.
Yeah, there was signs of life last time out as well. You know she goes on the ground. She just looked slight awkward head carriage last time out. You're kind of happy to put that down to the ground itself. The other one, I think the market will overbet this fast response on. It obviously goes on heavy ground, but I can just see her being smashed off the balls into a shorter price than she should be. Dream of Love's the one for me.
Yeah, good stuff. John?
I don't think you can look past Dream of Love for as regards value bet.
I think that's it. It's prices, isn't it?
Really ain't standout.
Just ground related, really. I think that's it. There's a lot of these horses that just won't go on this pudding.
I don't think this will suit Jumbly.
Yes, Glen Eagles, as we know, Glen Eagles.
I thought she was feeling the ground last time.
Yeah.
I think this will be an enhanced performance, but I think she's priced right.
Do you know? I don't think I'd lose on Jumbly. I think you're right. I think she's one of them that will appreciate cut, and she pissed up with cut last back end. So that's you don't want to lose on that. And I agree with you about fast response. I think that's the overbet one. Yeah. Okay. 3:00 Goodwood is the Molecomb. Jack, where the fuck is Ballon d'Or? He's running it over 7. He's entered it over 7. I kid you not. Ballon d'Or, the one you backed at Epsom, right? Over 6, and I said to you, well, that one's dropping back to 5. It's a speed ball. What's Carlton Palmer doing? He's put it over 7.
As I pointed out to someone at Ascot on Saturday, I think I back probably about 2 to 3 Carlton Palmer horses a year, and that lad was 2 of them. So I've got no chips left. Not that I'd want them, but yeah, he's a fucking idiot, really.
I mean, this was the race. I had pencil for Ballon d'Or. I remember you saying, and you commented on some pods, and you fancied it for the Woodcote, and I said to you, you know what? If this were mine, I'd just go straight for after Epsom, straight for Molecomb. Get a break, straight for Molecomb, bang, flying machine. I mean, probably ground's gone against it, but nevertheless, that was the right race. But Killian then, so he's 15-8. That's a very highly regarded horse at Berks. They said before debut, I can remember we were at York, John. The tips were flying around for Killian that this was like Berks' fastest colt they got. He didn't win, obviously, but it certainly made hay since.
I find it very hard to oppose here, to be honest. I think if we had a non-vintage, I think this is a non-Molecomb.
Yeah, usually you get a big field Molecomb, don't you?
It's been known. It's never a race I'm much of a fan of. Broke me heart when I was a kid when I Miranda got racing this, actually. I couldn't really go against the Burke horse, and I wouldn't particularly want to back it either, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the prices, yeah. It's 15.08 and 5-2 Big Ebbs, the speedball of Appleby.
Long, mate, and you don't have to bet in every race, do you?
No, you don't. Quentin Franks.
There's a few I don't like in there. I'm not sure Shagran wants to drop back in trip. Person Narky, don't like the Haydock form. Best part of the track. Barnwell Boy, not sure on the ground. But here, not sure on the ground. Horse that I marked down on debut, it's the Ragged Field, Molecomb. I'm pretty sure this is going to thrive on soft ground. They potentially spunk its mark up the wall. It's got a mark of 85, but it was 2-3 when they upped him to 6 last time at Newbury. He found trouble in running at various points, and I don't know, I felt he stuck around long enough. Drop back in trip will help. Dam's best race, she won something on soft ground. I think it was a listed race. I think he'll thrive under the conditions, and I'll be hammering in the place markets.
Good stuff. Last big place market. What was the last one you come up with recently? You said a big place one. It was
the Dascombe thing.
Yeah, it finished 4th at like
O'Donnell's something. It was in that race actually.
Yeah, that was that place at like 8, wasn't it? I think in 4 peg market. So that was a great shout for the show. Love that one. Jack, anything to add on the 3 o'clock the Molecomb?
Yeah, no, I respect the case there from Quentin. That one certainly takes the eye. I don't think it should really be the rag. More idiot placing. Barnwell Boy won really nicely over 6 here on debut. Went back to 5 for the, what did he run in? Windsor Castle. That was stupid placing, and they've kept him at 5 again. So that's just, more idiots for you. I like the way Bahir won his maiden at Newbury, but again, does he really want to step back to 5? Does he want the bad ground? I think it could be one of those races that really cuts up if it's the proper slop we're thinking about on Wednesday, and the Fav could look very good indeed.
John, Jack's attacking the kilt again. Are we saying that the kilt?
You're looking for me to defend him, mate?
No. I'm saying that clearly, like, there's a lot of people in the game that think the kilts are idiots.
Oh, there's a lot of people that's right. Yeah, idiots.
How many planes do you own, John?
I don't own any planes. I wouldn't want a plane. I wouldn't want a plane as a present.
I know, you actually don't go on them, do you?
No.
No, John's not fly.
It would remain in the garage.
No planes for John. Yeah.
I need a bigger garage.
Yeah, well.
Carport.
These small planes that Johnson flies, though, could you get in these? Because, I mean, like, Harrison Ford had to crash land his on a golf course once. Antti Cronje crashed into a mountain in his. I'm just thinking of, like, people, like, that's crashed in small things in air.
Payne Stewart, was he one?
Payne Stewart, yeah, he did one, didn't he?
Give me cabin decompress or something.
Yeah. Do you know any +4s on, like Charlie Mann? I don't know.
He might have his Biggles outfit on this with his
Anyway, Kilt will fly to Goodwood, won't he?
Probably under his own steam.
And as we record this, England have drawn the ashes, thanks to a lovely wicket-taking ball from, you guessed it, Stuart Broad. Lovely jubbly. Yeah, fantastic scenes there. The Oval.
I think quite like John's Moral Dante winner. I think we were probably the Moral Ashes winner there as well.
Yeah, do you know what? We got a bit of luck with a change of ball in this Ashes, because I mean, it come out looking like, like the ball they got changed. The old ball was like an old like Graham Gooch, and the new ball was like a Graham Gooch with hair dye and and a facelift. It was that kind of ball. Like, hang on, that's a bit purple. That's a bit, it's like, hang on, you've gone from a red crusty old ball to a purple ball.
I think it's a bit unfair to call it the Moral Ashes winner, like comparing it to the Moral Dante winner, because when Kevin Stock goes home tonight, he's unlikely to get a broken nose because of the Moral Ashes, is he?
Fair point well made, John. Right, on to the Sussex Stakes, which sees Paddington at nearly a bottle on to a bottle. Yeah, bottle on. Yeah, of course, that's right.
Well,
Bottle on to win the Sussex, and I've got my opinions here. And basically, do you know what? This can't. What are the prices on Aldari? Have we seen current price on Aldari at the moment?
14 top price.
That's
11
massive.
gen.
That's still massive. If that turns up soft heavy ground, which we think it's going to, that cannot be anywhere near that. Because put it this way, Quentin, what price would you make in Spiral v Aldari on Eve, like in a match bet?
I don't think Inspire would run on it, but I'd have Aldari favourite probably. Oh, hard one to price off the top of my head. I'd fancy Aldari to beat her though.
I think you got to factor in the fact that if they're not going to beat Paddington as well, Frankie wouldn't knock the shit out of Inspiral.
No,
whereas Slim Jim might just fancy getting second.
Oh, injured. This is their derby. I mean, look at it. Look at the breeding on the Sire and Dam side. You know, like it's Slopsville, Arkansas, USA. It literally is. It will plough through the ground. CJ will turn up and make everyone moist when probably cloths off and runs round parade ring, John.
There's every chance, isn't
it? At that price, if it wins, we injure Jim on, that'd be it. You know, absolutely. So yeah, Aldari, we've already mentioned on Patreon, and so going at massive prices, 66s, 33s, all that baloney, 25s, 14s is still huge for that, absolutely huge. As we know, at Ascot, that didn't go right for that horse. It was team tactics from Godolphin. Injun Jim was left leading the peloton like the Tour de France idiot. And that was it. It wasn't a race. It was a strange affair. And we stripe Ascot form anyway. You can see with the King George meeting, we're not bothered about Ascot form. So yes, we might have some investments here. So what's the consensus? Jack, John, Quentin, what's the plays at current odds?
I'm not completely sold on Paddington on really, really deep ground. In Spiral, I'm not sold on really, really deep ground. The one I think, there's two horses that are overpriced in my opinion. One's Aldari and the other is this Factor Cheval. It's ran an absolute cracker in what did it run in last time? In the Ispan. Pulled its nuts off behind Anmar. It's got heavy ground form in the book. I don't know how 20s is still kicking around for that, to be honest. You know it's going to go in conditions. It was better than the result last time out. That's too big. Aldari's too big. I'll just touch up the pair of them. It's a shame there's not 8, but for the each way side of things. But yeah, I wouldn't. You know what? I'd probably. You can play these each way. You got a vulnerable in Spiral there. I'll probably play Aldari each way. In fact, I'll Cheval each way.
Good stuff. Yeah. No, I like your angles. Jack and Quentin, anything to finish the Sussex?
Yeah, it's got to be Aldari really. Make amends for the heroin bet from a few weeks ago. Hopefully we can get some redemption there. I think I read earlier that Hannon said that not that it matters because he's crap, but Chindit won't run if the ground turned up soft or pretty bad. So that's another one to take out. So you hope you don't lose your each way angle with it being win only. And like you guys have said, does Inspiral really want to run on that? Possibly not. So it could end up just being a 4-runner nonsense. But I think we're on the right horse in Aldari, to be honest.
Yep. Jonas?
3.8 in the place market. Aldari, max out. If it finishes third, put your sister on the game for a fortnight.
Diversity, misogyny, and everything else does not exist on this podcast at all. No. We're very fair.
Just a quick gamble aware word there, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When needs must.
If you care about your sister, don't do it.
Yeah. Any other business, chaps?
Unless you want a red too.
No, not really.
No.
John, go on, give us a red tip. They'll love to hear this.
No, I'm not giving it now.
No. You'll have to find out. Yes, this is a perfect plug. So yeah, but if you don't subscribe to Edge, this could end up on Edge tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe to Edge if you don't already.
On Wednesday.
Absolutely, yeah. Quentin, Jack.
No, nothing really. No, I'm going no.
Jack?
Yeah, not from me. A few later in the week, but no, quite happy with what we've done on these two.
We're back on Wednesday. It's me, John, Quentin, and Nick, Stew the Fat, for Thursday and Friday. So that's the second pod of the week, and then there's the usual Friday show. So I hope you enjoyed this one. It's all from us. Bye for now.